Here's a number that will blow your mind. The president of the Philippines, Ferdinand Marcos Jr., has an appraised net worth of 1.375 billion pesos. Sounds impressive, right? That's roughly $24 million. Now, here's where it gets absolutely insane. There's a Filipino mall owner whose family fortune is so massive, so astronomically large, that the president's entire net worth wouldn't even cover the cost of a single floor in one of their shopping centers. We're talking about someone who is nearly 500 times richer than the leader of the entire nation. Welcome to the Philippines, a country where malls aren't just places to shop. They're practically a religion. Filipinos have turned weekend mall visits into a cultural institution, and the tycoons who built these retail empires have quietly amassed fortunes that rival the GDP of small countries. While politicians make headlines, these mall moguls have been stacking billions in the background, transforming from humble shopkeepers into some of the wealthiest people in all of Asia. But who are these retail titans? How did they build empires of glass, steel, and consumer dreams? And just how rich are we talking? Today, we're counting down the 10 richest mall and retail owners in the Philippines. We'll dive into the colossal empires they've constructed, the rags to riches stories that fueled their rise, and reveal just how their fortunes stack up against the most powerful person in the country. Some of these names you'll recognize from the shopping bags you carry. Others operate in the shadows, their wealth hidden behind corporate structures and family trusts. We'll explore everything from the drugstore dynasty that quietly became worth billions to the legendary family whose mall empire is so vast, you literally cannot go a single day in the Philippines without encountering one of their businesses. Stick around until the end, because the number one spot isn't just one person. It's an entire dynasty whose fortune is so mind-boggling, it will completely change how you see that SM logo the next time you walk through those glass doors. Let's get into it. Kicking off our list at number 10 is a man who proves you do not need to be born rich to build a retail empire. Edgar Njap Sia II. His nickname tells you everything about his heritage. Njap is a combination of Insik, the Filipino term for Chinese, and Jap for Japanese. His father is Chinese Filipino, his mother is Japanese Filipina. He turned what could have been a schoolyard taunt into a badge of honor. Born in Iloilo City in 1977, Sia did not start with malls. He started with chicken. At just 26 years old, he founded Mang Inasal, a barbecue chicken restaurant that exploded across the Philippines. By 2011, at age 34, he sold a 70% stake in Mang Inasal to Jollibee Foods Corporation. That single deal made him the youngest billionaire in Philippine history. But here is where it gets interesting. Instead of retiring to a beach somewhere, Sia took that fortune and pivoted straight into real estate. In 2012, he partnered with Jollibee founder Tony Tan Cactiong to create Double Dragon Properties. Their weapon of choice? City Mall. These are not your glitzy mega malls. They are community shopping centers targeting provincial areas that the big players ignored. Today, Double Dragon operates over 100 city malls nationwide. The company reported a 44% surge in profits in the first half of 2025, and Sia has his eyes on a staggering target: 500 billion pesos in revenues by 2035. From chicken to concrete, this is a man who refuses to stop building. Coming in at number 9 is someone whose story reads like a movie script. Andrew Tan was born in 1952 in Guangzhou, China. His family moved to Hong Kong, then to Manila when he was just 16 years old. They lived in a cramped apartment in Santa Cruz. His father worked in a transistor radio factory. His mother was a vendor. Andrew worked alongside his father while studying accounting at the University of the East. His dream back then? to open a grocery store, he achieved something far greater. In 1989, Tan founded MegaWorld Corporation, pioneering the live work play township concept that transformed Philippine real estate. But his Alliance Global Group extends far beyond buildings. It includes Emperador, the world's largest brandy company, Golden Arches Development, which operates McDonald's franchises in the Philippines, and Travelers International, which runs Newport World Resorts. In 2024, MegaWorld posted a record 21.7 billion pesos in net income. Today, his son Kevin serves as vice chairman, president, and CEO of Alliance Global. From factory floors to casino floors, Andrew Tan built it all. At number 8, we have an heir who refused to coast on his family name. Lance Gokongwei. His father, John Gokongwei Jr., was a legend. The family lost everything during World War II. At 15, John started peddling goods just to survive. He eventually built JG Summit Holdings from a cornstarch factory in 1954 into one of the largest conglomerates in the Philippines. Lance could have walked into any corner office. Instead, he started as a management trainee at Universal Robina Corporation, earning 2,000 pesos a month, selling Jack and Jill snacks from a car with a broken air conditioner. He graduated summa cum laude from the University of Pennsylvania with degrees in finance and applied science. In 2018, he became CEO of JG Summit. Today, Robinson's Land operates over 55 malls, recorded 12.06 billion pesos in net income in 2023, and is targeting 69 malls by 2030. The Gokongwei siblings share a combined fortune of $1.8 billion. But the fortunes we are about to reveal make that look modest. At number 7 is a man whose business empire started with a simple question from his customers. Tony Tan Cactiong was born on January 5, 1953, in what is now Davao del Sur. His parents were Chinese immigrants from Fujian province. In 1975, he opened 2 ice cream parlors. Nothing fancy, just frozen treats for hot Philippine days. But his customers kept asking for something else. They wanted hot meals, burgers, chicken, real food. Most business owners would have ignored them. Tony listened. In 1978, he founded Jollibee Foods Corporation. That decision created the only Filipino fast food chain that successfully went head-to-head with McDonald's on its home turf and won. Today, Jollibee operates over 1,500 stores across the Philippines. But the empire does not stop there. JFC owns Chowking, Greenwich, Red Ribbon, Mang Inasal, Burger King Philippines, Dunkin', Tim Ho Wan, The Coffee Bean and Tea Leaf, and Compose Coffee. His brother Ernesto Tan Mantiong serves as JFC's president and CEO, keeping the family legacy tight. Remember Edgar Injapsia from our number 10 spot? In 2012, Tony partnered with him to create Double Dragon Properties. Together, they built the City Mall chain that now dots provincial towns across the archipelago. Forbes values Tony Tan Cactiong's fortune at $2.9 billion, placing him at number 10 on the Philippines' richest list for 2025. From ice cream cones to a fast food throne, this is the man who made Chicken Joy a national treasure. But if Tony built his empire by listening to customers, our next entry built theirs by betting on a crisis. At number 6, we have the husband and wife duo of Lucio and Susan Ko. Their combined fortune stands at $3 billion, and almost nobody outside business circles knows their names. Lucio was born in 1956 in Manila. His parents owned Atlantic Glassware, a store in the bustling Divisoria district. Susan graduated with a commerce degree from the University of Santo Tomas. They married and initially worked in oil and gas through a company called Alcorn Gold Resources Corporation. Then came 1997, the Asian financial crisis. Businesses collapsed, Investors fled. Most people saw disaster. Lucio and Susan saw opportunity. In 1998, while the economy was still reeling, they founded Pure Gold Price Club. Their philosophy was brutally simple: affordable products for low and middle-income Filipinos. One hypermarket became two, two became 10. Today, Pure Gold operates over 500 stores nationwide. We are talking 229 hypermarkets, 102 supermarkets, 28 extra stores, and 19 mini-marts. In 2012, they acquired S&R Membership Shopping, a U.S.-style warehouse club that now runs 18 locations plus 38 quick-service restaurants. Their holding company, Costco Capital, reported 240.5 billion pesos in gross revenues for 2024 and 15.49 billion pesos in net income. Fortune magazine ranked Costco as the 88th largest company in Southeast Asia. The Koh family controls roughly 79% of Costco Capital shares. Their son Ferdinand Vincent serves as Pure Gold president. Daughters Pamela Justine, Camille Clarice, and Katrina Marie all hold positions in the family business. They even launched a program called Tindahan ni Aling Puring that has empowered over 600,000 sari-sari store owners across the country. Despite their massive wealth, Lucio and Susan remain famously media shy. They let their stores do the talking, and those stores say plenty. We are now entering the top 5, and the fortunes are about to get staggering. Up next is a drugstore dynasty that was hiding billions in plain sight, followed by old money that has been shaping the Philippines for nearly 2 centuries. Breaking into our top 5 is the biggest surprise on this entire list: the Cui Ascona family. You might not recognize their name, but you have definitely walked into their stores. They own Mercury Drug. And their fortune? A jaw-dropping $3.6 billion. Here is what makes this fascinating. In 2024, Forbes ranked them at number 14 with an estimated $1.7 billion. 1 year later, they vaulted to number 6. That is not because they suddenly made billions overnight. It is because Forbes finally realized just how much this family was actually worth. The story begins in the ashes of World War II. In 1945, a man named Mariano Cue started selling medicine in Bambang, Manila, with just 100 pesos in capital. 100 pesos. That is roughly $2 today. He opened the first Mercury drugstore that same year, driven by a simple mission: make medicine accessible to all Filipinos. No complicated business model, no fancy strategies, just essential healthcare products at prices ordinary people could afford. Today, Mercury Drug operates over 1,200 stores across the Philippines. They employ more than 15,000 people. Their 24/7 service and reliable delivery have made them such a household name that Filipinos often use Mercury as a generic term for any drugstore. The company was led by family matriarch Vivian Cue Ascona until her passing in April 2025. Her son Stephen now runs the empire. Unlike many companies on this list, Mercury Drug remains privately held and is not listed on the stock exchange. They built billions without ever ringing a stock market bell. That is the power of serving a need everyone has. Medicine. At number 4, we step into a completely different world. Old money. Very old money. The Zobel de Ayala family has roots in Philippine business stretching back to the 19th century. Their fortune stands at $3.4 billion, but their influence extends far beyond any number Forbes can calculate. Ayala Corporation was founded in 1834. Let that sink in. This company has been operating for nearly 200 years. It started as a distillery and evolved into one of the most diversified conglomerates in the country. The Ayala Empire includes Ayala Land, Bank of the Philippine Islands, Globe Telecom, Manila Water, and of course, Ayala Malls. If you have ever strolled through Greenbelt in Makati, window shopped at Glorieta, or grabbed coffee at Trinoma, you have experienced the Ayala touch firsthand. But their greatest achievement might not be the malls themselves. It is what lies beneath them. The Zobel de Ayala family transformed Makati from swampland into the premier financial district of the Philippines. They developed Bonifacio Global City into a gleaming urban center. They did not just build shopping centers, they built entire cities. Jaime Zobel de Ayala served as chairman for years. Today, the next generation continues the legacy with Fernando Zobel de Ayala at the helm. The family moved up one slot from number 8 in 2024 to number 7 in 2025, with their fortune growing from $2.6 billion to $3.4 billion. Bank of the Philippine Islands remains one of the largest financial institutions in the country. Globe Telecom connects millions of Filipinos daily. This is what happens when wealth is measured not in years, but in centuries. Now we enter the top 3, and the numbers are about to get absolutely mind-boggling. We are talking fortunes that dwarf everything we have seen so far. The real estate king, the port emperor, and the retail dynasty that makes the president look like he is working for minimum wage. At number 3 stands the only Filipino to crack Bloomberg's top 100 billionaires worldwide, Manuel Manny Villar. Born December 13, 1949, in Tondo, one of the poorest districts in Manila. His father was a government employee. His mother sold fish and shrimp at Divisoria Market. Every morning before school, young Manny helped her set up the stall. That is where he learned business. He earned degrees in business administration and accountancy from the University of the Philippines, worked at the country's biggest accounting firm, then quit to start a seafood delivery business. In 1975, he bought 2 trucks and launched a sand and gravel operation in Las Piñas. That pivot led to construction. Construction led to housing. Housing led to Camela Homes, the brand that made home ownership possible for ordinary Filipinos. Today, Villar's empire spans 6 publicly listed companies. Vista Land and Lifescapes is the largest home builder in the Philippines. Vista Malls operates 42 shopping centers and 59 commercial complexes. All Home dominates the home improvement market. All Day Marts fills kitchens across the country. Golden MV Holdings reported nearly 1 trillion pesos in net profit in 2024 alone. As of August 2025, Bloomberg valued his fortune at $23.1 billion, ranking him 99th globally. He is developing Villar City, a 3,500-hectare planned metropolis. From fish markets to Forbes lists, Manny Villar rewrote what is possible. Our runner-up built his fortune not in malls, but in the infrastructure that moves the world. Enrique Ricky Razan Jr., net worth $11.5 billion. He inherited modest port operations from his father and transformed them into something extraordinary. International Container Terminal Services, or ICTSI, is now one of the largest port operators on the planet. They run terminals across Asia, Europe, the Americas, and Africa. In 2024, ICTSI reported a record 66% jump in net income, reaching $849.8 million. But Razan did not stop at shipping containers. He built Solaire Resort and Casino, the crown jewel of Entertainment City in Manila. It is one of Asia's premier integrated resorts, blending luxury hospitality with world-class gaming. He recently took control of Manila Water Company. He is expanding into renewable energy through prime infrastructure capital. His daughter Katrina is known as DJ Katsu and co-founded the globally acclaimed Wonderfruit Festival in Thailand. Razan himself keeps a lower profile than his fellow billionaires. He lets the ports and casinos speak for themselves. And now, the moment this entire list has been building toward. Number 1, the Tsai siblings, Teresita, Elizabeth, Henry Jr., Hans, Herbert, Harley, 6 heirs to the most legendary fortune in Philippine history. Combined net worth? $11.8 billion. Their father, Henry Tsai Sr., arrived from China at age 12. His family store was destroyed in World War II. His father returned to China. Henry stayed. He sold surplus military boots. In 1958, he opened a tiny shoe store in Querétaro, Manila, with just 500 pesos in capital. That shoe store became SM. Today, SM Supermalls operates 98 shopping centers across the Philippines and China. They attract 5.2 million visitors daily. SM Prime Holdings, SM Investments Corporation, BDO Unibank, the largest bank in the Philippines. China Bank, SM Development Corporation, over 11 million square meters of retail space. Their slogan says it all. We have got it all for you. It is not marketing. It is a statement of fact. You literally cannot go a single day in the Philippines without touching something owned by the Tsai family. President Marcos has 1.375 billion pesos. The Tsai siblings have $11.8 billion. That is nearly 500 times richer than the leader of the entire nation. And there you have it. The 10 richest mall and retail owners in the Philippines. 10 fortunes that make the president's 1.375 billion peso net worth look like pocket change. Let that sink in for a moment. The leader of an entire nation, with all the power and prestige that comes with that office, has a fraction of the wealth held by these retail titans. What's remarkable about this list isn't just the staggering numbers, it's the stories behind them. From a 12-year-old immigrant boy selling surplus boots in post-war Manila to the heirs of a near 200-year-old family dynasty. From a chicken restaurant that accidentally became a fast food empire to a couple who saw opportunity in the ashes of the Asian financial crisis. These aren't trust fund babies who inherited their way to the top. Most of them started with nothing, armed with only determination, a dream, and an uncanny ability to understand what Filipino consumers wanted before they even knew it themselves. The Tsai siblings alone control a combined fortune of $11.8 billion. That's nearly 500 times the president's appraised net worth. They operate 98 malls, own the country's largest bank, and employ hundreds of thousands of Filipinos. Every time you swipe your BDO card, buy groceries at SM Supermarket, or watch a movie at SM Cinema, you're adding to a fortune that started with a single shoe store and 500 pesos in capital. But perhaps the most fascinating thing about this list is how these families have woven themselves into the fabric of everyday Filipino life. You can't escape them. They're in the malls where you shop, the banks where you save, the airports where you land, the drugstores where you buy medicine, the supermarkets where you stock your kitchen. They've built empires not by accident, but by understanding the Filipino dream better than anyone else. So the next time you walk through those automatic glass doors, past the air-conditioned comfort, and into those familiar retail halls, remember, somewhere, a family fortune just got a little bit bigger. Which of these retail empires fascinates you the most? Drop a comment below and let us know. And if you enjoyed this deep dive into the world of the ultra-wealthy, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. We've got plenty more stories about the billionaires shaping the Philippines. Until next time.